Hello, everybody. And in honor of our goddesses today and tomorrow being St. Paddy's Day, bear with me. I would like to say Cod Mile Falcha. So that's not perfect, but I'm following the pronunciation guide. So Cod Mile Le Falcha, which is an common informal or warm greeting, literally meaning 100,000 welcomes. So, Kad Mila Falcha. So, I hope I did Jackie proud. Yes, tomorrow is St. Patty's Day. What does the rest of the shirt say? Feminism is for everybody, Lexi. And I even got a compliment on that today, including a not so nice look, but you know what? They can go pound sand, as I would like to say. But yes, tomorrow is St. Patty's Day, and I wanted to celebrate the Irish goddesses for today. This is Women's Month here in the States, and I've been looking for every Monday to maybe feature a certain pantheon or group of goddesses. And with it, the day just before St. Patty's Day, I figured let's mention some goddesses, including the main one that I work with now as well. So I hope everybody had a great weekend. We are having beautiful weather here, and those watching on playback, thank you as well. E for frat boys. Yeah, the way Americans especially handle it. Yeah, too bad Jackie's Crystal Moon wasn't here. Boy, she'd be sharing some of her opinions and her experiences um, that of the American culture. So just really quick before I get really started here. I was wondering if we could all take time today at some point to send Jax Mangled Unicorn some healing energy, some supportive energy without getting too much into her private biz. She did email me that she had to be taken into the ER this morning. She's having a rough time, and if we could all just send her a lot of love, healing energy, positive energy to help support her through all this, that would be wonderful. And thank you. I appreciate that. But alrighty, we all have masculine and feminine energies. We can be just as important with the feminine as with the masculine as well. Yes, but especially in this day and age, Shelby, with everything especially going on in our country, as you know, even around the world, women are still seen as in some areas as subhuman. Our rights aren't as equal. Equanimity is not where it should be, and so I like wearing this shirt when I can to remind people that we all can be a feminist, especially if you have mothers, daughters, aunts, nieces, etc. So, and you're an MA, so yeah, you know what that's all about. So I think because there's so many connected to the Morrigan who I am working with, and her being Irish, an Irish deity, or facets of Irish deity, depending on how you perceive her, how you work with her. We'll get started with that. And hello, Irene. Good to see you. Driving and listening. Drive safely, my dear. And Lexi says, as a girly girl, I trust I'm very connected to the masculine side. Yes, most definitely. For me, with my people know, I've shared in the past with my experiences with trauma, with sexual abuse, not only to myself, but to violent sexual trauma to the women in my family. When they say 1 in 3 women, I'm one of those 1 in 3. So for me, I find more safety in the feminine. However, there have been men in my life that have been very supportive, and in the spiritual as well. So it's all about how we just learned to, for me, I recognize and respect the masculine. For me, I feel more connected to her, and just really wanting to help keep, in mind with people that, even in the 21st century, they're still trying to take away our sovereignty, our reproductive rights, our body rights, to doctors, to healthcare. Again, still less pay. I could go on and on. So, yeah, this is for the ladies. And hey, girl, hey. Whoops, that's not hey, girl, hey. That's hey, girl, hey. Hello, my dear. Enjoy your dinner. And for those who hung out or watched some of that 3.5 hour playback Friday night, that was a lot of fun. So, Lexi, thank you for popping in and hanging out with us for a bit. And I believe Shelby did as well. Every woman has a story about, I'm one, and we should all acknowledge it. Yes, because the more we keep trying to, you know, uh, downplay it, hide it, say, it just perpetuates the cycles and the patterns, especially in our country at this day and age. Even though we are going through what we're going through here in our country, especially with women and their rights being violated and arbitrated and taken away. There are women in other countries who are treated worse. They're treated as subhuman, and they know very little what body autonomy. Why can I not say the word autonomy? That's probably not even pronouncing it right. It's been a busy morning, let me tell y'all, an afternoon. But so yeah, we just keep working towards the sisterhood. We thank the men who support the sisterhood and embrace it. And so yeah, let me take this down. And Shelby says, yeah, that's what I mean. Not saying masculine is more important. And there are a lot of shows that I don't say there's a lot of shows, but there is a lot more out there with supporting the masculine and pushing the patriarchal. We're here. It may be seem like I'm pushing the matriarchal, but I need to remind, it's a reminder that with the patriarchal, there's a matriarchal, and there needs to be equality, equanimity between the two. And we have not seen that on this planet for millennia. Yes, we are. We get paid less. Women artists, they get their works get paid less than a male counterpart. Georgia O'Keeffe, quick example, one of the most famous artists in the world, up there with all the male artists, and yet her work is still priced lower than her male counterpart. So it infiltrates all aspects of life. So, but yeah, and no one should ever go through that. It's disgusting. So let's start taking a look. I was going to save the Morgan to last, but because there's so many aspects of her that are a part of the Irish goddesses and their mythology and their, the connection to the land, I decided to go and start with her first. And Moira is here. Hello, Moira. So, okay, to start off with, Anu. She is considered one of the aspects of the Morrigan. Now, the Morrigan's a triple goddess, but over the centuries, there's different manuscripts stating certain ones are more prevalent. She's kind of been like plucked from one and plucked into one group in one manuscript, plucked out one another aspect. So involving all the different types of manuscripts, the stories of the Battle of Cooley, of Mactarad, and Ragmagna. Her different variations of her name show up. So to honor that, we have Anu, who is seen as basically like the mother goddess, even though Iru, let me make sure I pronounce that right, because I like trying to be proper here. I got my pronunciation guide here with my deck. So Ireland is named after Adaru, so Adaru. Anu is considered like the mother goddess, or the mother of the land, I should say. Now, Danu has been called the mother goddess, or the goddess of Ireland. Although certain authors will have different translations and opinions. Some see Danu, or pronounce also Danu, as a spiritual being, but maybe not necessarily a goddess. So depending on whose book you're reading or their translations, but I still want to include all. Danu is typically associated as the mother goddess of the Tuatha. And so Anu is sometimes considered another aspect of her, as well as Anad, and again, all part also of the collective of the Morrigan. And in Ireland, there are two hills that look like paps. They call them the paps of Anu, they look like breasts. So it's like the mother, the goddess. And the Morgan, in any of her aspects, is considered the Lady of Sovereignty. I thought this was a beautiful card. I wanted to share that. Another aspect of the Morgan is Namang, and she is seen as like the battle fury, the screaming, the blood raining down, because the Morgan is a goddess of battle and war, and of course prophecy and poetry and sovereignty. But during battles, Nemain is the name that's given to the shrieking, the raining of blood, the cawing. She's the one that really strikes terror on the battlefield. And I think that is fabulous artwork. Very, very cool. There's also another aspect of Mahka and of the Morrigan, and this is Baive. And Baive is also at times associated in certain texts that I've read as the washer of the ford. And if you come across a woman, usually an older, like a hag or a crone, washing one's armor or clothes, bloody clothes, in a river or stream bed, that foretold of your upcoming demise, of your passing. So those are other aspects of her as well. Now, Maka. Now, she is, I hate using the word interchangeable, but she is, I think, the first aspect of the Morgan that reached out to me through my artwork back around 2014 or 2015. Now, Maka, she was the one who was pregnant with twins, with children, and her husband, full of hubris, bragged that she could outrun anybody's horses. And without going into full detail of the whole story, that was challenged. And of course, the husband for them, who he was bragging to, the other king or kingdom, said, well, let's see it. And she said, listen, look, I'm pregnant. Can you not wait until after I give birth and I will run? And they forced her. And she ran, she won. However, she gave birth, but she ended up dying afterwards in one of the stories. And so the curse put on, I think it's the Ulstermen, was that whenever they were needed and called to war or to fight, they would get hit with labor pains, and they would all be, for 9 generations, and be stuck in bed with labor pains, where they could not move, they could not defend. And so that was one of the curses that was put on them. And let's see, Beth. Hi, Beth. Do you have the Witch Sister Tarot by? I don't. I think you mentioned it to me before. I took a look at it. Maybe. Kind of like the Valkyries a little bit. You can hear that dun 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 dun. And Irene says, "Love me some Paps. You're funny." So let's see. I've been curious about the Morgan, but I don't delve into deity work outside Roman or Greco. I would never have thought, being raised Catholic, I was always drawn to, of course, Mary, the saints. But then when I got into and learned about witchcraft and paganism and Wicca, and other spiritualities, Native American shamanism, everything that kind of fits underneath the umbrella, or considered neo-pagan. But um, the Morgan scared me because I was always one that was afraid of. I would get into a fight if I have to, but I was terrified of confrontation. I think I was raised to fear confrontation, um, with things with my relationship with my mother. But yeah, to me, I was anything but war and battle and gore and death. And now that I've gotten older, I'm 55 now. This started right around when I was, I think, maybe 40, 44, 45. Um, she started coming around. And within, I think, the last 6 months to a year, with everything I've been through, she's kind of like, I'm not going anywhere. Get over it. Deal with it. And for me, the battles that she can help you fight are internal ones. And she was there for my EMDR um, treatment today. I'm seeing, I don't say treatment, but my EMDR that I'm doing with my counselor. And so yeah, she's guiding me. She's there. And I love poetry. I'm a poet, and she inspires poetry. She's prophecy, seership. I read. So it's all starting to click in over the years. Let's see. It's got a lot of the same Celtic lore. And a couple of goddesses that I thought were Irish because they fell under Celtic turned out to be Welsh or English. So my little list was a little small. And Tom is here. Hey Tom, good to see you. That was quite the deck. I'm still contemplating that deck. Maybe later this year. But that was some incredible artwork. Let's see. I'm ethnically Jewish. Yep, but essentially agnostic. My rules are self-imposed. Well, there you go, girl. And let's see. Parked for a minute. Lexi's like, Tom. Yeah, Tom actually supports me. He comes in. Um, he's our strong masculine. See, masculine. Even though this is about feminine, the masculine still show up for me. Let's see. Lexi agnostic with a gallery of iconography. The occult bro has entered the chat. Celtic includes Scottish and Welsh and what is now Italy and Germany. Yes, and they keep expanding. They're thinking even further out than that. But yeah, I mean, Shannon and I have watched the shows on how tribes and groups of people, nomadics, would just move in and then another would take over, but then some would turn around, and all the overlapping and all the millennia, all the different civilizations. It's mind blowing how long we have been here. Yes, Tom is a good dude. Don't tell him I said that. Shh. They'll be between you and us. Let's see. So, but yes, I wanted to share that with the Morgan, with the goddesses, and of course we have our traditional. We have Bridget. Oh, first though, I have to show the one from Colette Baron Reed's deck that Jenna Della Gratalia did of the Morgan. That's pretty badass. I love that one. Very cool. Alrighty, so we have Bridget, and she is the goddess of the fire, the hearth, the forge, inspiration, poetry, and a couple of. And in this deck here, it's very interesting that she's not shown with the fire and the forge, but she's a little more subdued, but it shows her connected still to the land. And as we all know, when Catholicism or Christianity moved into Ireland, St. Patrick, he, expelled the snakes, even though I don't like snakes very much. But, the reference of the snakes being the pagans, the goddess, she was just too much beloved like Mary, and they turned her into a saint. But Bridget's got some fiery energy, and in some literature I have seen, she's kind of connected or seen as like the opposite of the Morgan. It's like the light and the dark aspects of both, and how we can find healing and power in both aspects. So, but yeah, this image too is just beautiful. I love the artwork on the Goddess Oracle deck. Then we have Ane, and let me pull up Ane here. So this is from the Goddess of the World, which I thought was lovely. Yes, this, I believe this is a an AI deck, although I do believe arts by artists were incorporated into it, because the images are just, to me, too not too perfect. But when you look at AI, you kind of notice the fingers and how certain images are formed. Um, they did an extraordinary job on this. And this deck here is very inclusive. There is not a lot of your traditional goddesses in here. Pele did make it. Ane made it. Bridget Caradwen made it. But there are a lot more other goddesses from across the world, some that I never even heard of, from Africa, from the South America, from parts of Asia. So this is really a fascinating deck to have. Even Siberian includes white buffalo calf woman is also in there as well. And of course, we have Danu or Thanu. So we're going to take a quick look with Ane. Let me pull her up here. Let's see. I thank you again, everybody, for being here. So she is the Celtic sun goddess, urges you to embrace your inner radiance and shine your light upon the world. And then goes on a little bit. So what I plan on doing is starting to focus on these individual goddesses moving forward, and doing a full show on each one. So today, just sharing names, a little bit of information of history that I have, and then later on fully, diving deeper. And this Friday is Ostara. So for those who celebrate early Ostara blessings, and Ostara is connected with Christianity. So Easter is the conversion from Christianity, was based on Oestre, the goddess of fertility. And here are a couple beautiful images of her. I just wanted to share that. And so we will be celebrating that this Friday, the celebration of Oestre or Ostara. So I know chat's been chatting, so let me just get my cards so I don't lose them, go shuffling, and then in the future, I'm like, wait a minute, why is this in here? So Persephone's coming home. Yes, she is. And Shelby, I knew you were going to be here. And look what I pulled out for you, Artemis. So there's your goddess right there. Thought I would share that with you. There you go. So okay, now where are the other, this is really interesting. Now I don't have the sticks here. Okay. So let's see what we got going here. And Miss Nancy is here. And for those coming in who came in late, I'm going to repeat some. So if we can all send Jax our love and healing and support at this. Oh my God, as I'm saying your name, Jax, you're in the ER, my dear. Are you home? So early on in the beginning of the show, I asked people to send you healing energy and support. I didn't get into your biz, but just letting them know that you had to go in, that you were in a lot of pain, and just to send you some good vibes, some healing energy, and some good juju. Artemis and Diane. Now those are your goddesses. There you go. They finally got you a room now, and you're having surgery tomorrow. Oh well, okay then, everybody. Just start wrapping her around in healing energy, love, lights. Also the doctors, the nurses that will be looking after her, the anesthesiologist, the whole medical team. Kidney stone. I don't think I've ever had one of those, but there's been some really bad issues I've had in the past with the colon and stuff. And oh, yeah, we won't get into that. It's huge. Apparently, I need a stent. Girl, I'm craving an expensive, impractical little pip deck. Manel, Menagello. I'm not sure what that is. Or I don't know what Menagello is. I've never heard of that kind of pip deck. Um, you finally got some. It's good. So let me just jump up here because I know I missed a lot of comments. Everyone's saying hello. Let's see. Okay. Backing it up, backing it up. Boom, boom. Oh, and this Jax always says, remember to smack that sassy when you come in. And if you're in the mood, smack it a little harder if you like. Let's cheer her up. Okay, so splintered off. Celtic Empire was in full swing. Yes. So okay. We already said that. We don't tell Tom that he's a good dude already. Okay, chicken, and let's see. I can see Celtic tribes along the coast of Upper France, Belgium, the Netherlands, and bits of Norway, Iceland, and maybe Denmark and Sweden. Yes. Very huge migration. And of course, one moving into another, mingling, and then moving back in, mingling to another. So lots of overlap and inclusivity, non-inclusivity. But if you hear dogs howling, they're across the street today and there's a siren going by, and I feel bad for those babies. It's got to hurt their ears. Bridget was too big of a deal. Yep, she's the only deity that was worshipped in all the Celtic Empire. And I love how Christians didn't fight the pagan holidays. God got us to incorporate. Yeah, amazing that they let any of them in. Just like same thing with Mary. They couldn't. All the goddesses were switched over to Mary. Actually, when the Vikings were going to Iceland, they did take Celtic women as slaves, which is horrible. Yes, we're still experiencing trafficking of women, children, even men. There is still forms of slavery going on in the world. Even some may say, the slaves, of having to work and being paid, sometimes, most of the time, most of us subpar. So it's a lovely little occupation that humans don't seem to want to, not occupation, but it's a, let's just say a trait that humans don't really want to. Oh, the word commodity. Yeah, that's a whole other show. I do own that deck. Okay. Tom, on March 21st, I'm starting the deck and walk. Woo, what's this? She's also a little high. Well, you relax. Everyone's giving you all good. Monticello pip deck. I do not know that. I'll have to look that up. Oh, I would know if I saw it. Okay. Let's see. So Beth says, Artemis is one of my goddesses too. Have you ever seen Tarot of the Huntress? Tarot devoted to her. Ooh. And Artemis Diane is probably the most masculine of all the goddesses, despite her being the helper of pregnant women. Yep, and I remember the story of Artemis where someone tried sneaking up on her to have his way with her, and she caught him and turned him into, what was it, a deer or a it was a wild animal so that people could go and hunt. See, you don't mess with the goddess, you know what I'm saying? And I do own that deck, 2 versions. Let's see, Tom, I was hoping for that answer. Ooh, Tom's spilling some knowledge. Do it, Moira. Do it. But let's see. All righty. So, okay. Actually, actually, Tom sucks. I don't like him at all. Now, all we need now is Miss Tarot D in here, and we can double team you can double team Tom. Just kidding, of course. Tom knows I love him. Let's see. These often feature traditional non-scenic pips from 15th to 19th century Italian and French styles characterized by hand-colored designs. Well, I'm going to have to see that. And Jax hasn't lost her step. My goodness, girl. Let's see. Lexi make me do my first Deccan walk. I don't know what a Deccan walk is, but I know Deccans confuse the hell out of me, but I need to learn them. Yeah, trafficking, even our current ministry. Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you. Let's see. Incorporating the Sabbaths and demoting deities to saints wasn't done out of kindness or respect. It was done to facilitate an easier takeover. Yep. There you be. Let's see. Tom, do you have La Corte de Tarocchi? Probably didn't say that to her. And I should be able to say that because I'm 25% Italian, but I haven't done Italian in a very long time. Shelby, speaking of Artemis, there's a holiday in honor of her that I recently learned about, and it's on March 25th this year. There you go. Yes, she is a powerful force. One not to be reckoned with lightly, right? Not to be reckoned with or trifled with. Now, Moira says, Athena, that's my girl. Well, maybe I will look at the Roman and Greek goddesses next Monday. I wasn't sure which one to do, but seeing that I have so many Greek and Roman enthusiasts here. Is everyone clutching their pearls? I'm embarrassed to admit I don't have any Il Meneghello. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly. Especially in wealthy areas. This area of the Georgian Triangle is like the Epstein Island, but on land. Not even kidding. Statistically speaking, as far as human trafficking and pedos are concerned. See, I'm not afraid to use this language on my channel. I don't monetize. And I think once you monetize, it kind of takes away more of your freedom and freedom of speech, and they enforce censorship more. So, yeah. And if something were to ever happen, I just go find another platform. And let's see. Tom says, I will live vicariously through you. I need a sip. I have been on the go. Instead of Taco Tuesday, was another Taco Monday. Oh, not that I had tacos, but I had something close to it. Yeah, most isn't collected in the stats. No. Do a deck and walk. What is Tom will have to explain to me, or somebody later on can explain to me or Nancy, you can explain to me later on what a deck and walk is. I will never monetize. For me, it's too much then about, for me personally, I never say no to a donation. They're always appreciated when given. But I've been in situations where I've had, guests on or people on a list that I pulled cards for and I'm ready to read for, and then somebody comes in and they're like, nope, that person can't go now. This person has to go because they paid. And for me, that kind of puts me in a sticky situation. So for me, I would like to say if anyone would like to do a donation, it could be after the show. If you liked the reading, or during the show, if you want to make a donation, when I get to read for you, I will throw in a couple extra cards. It's just between monetization and super chats and memberships. For me, it's too much for me. My job is my career. YouTube is supposed to be fun and creativity. Yes. And after I finish my peer support training this summer, starting in spring, and then hopefully maybe by summer, fall, I'm going to be going towards more incorporating that in readings for my shows, because I'll be certified to be able to speak as a professional on that. Alrighty, she's got to get going. I know, 2:36 already. Thank you, Shelby, for being here. And let's see, decans are the divisions of the astrological signs which have by some been associated with various tarot cards. Yes. I used to have the star tarot, and that used to confuse me and looking, going, what do you mean? But yeah. So, I like to say happy Irish Day tomorrow. And as Jackie would say, it's not Patty with two T's, it's Paddy with two Y's. And no, they do not say top of the morning to you in Ireland. That is American. So if she was here, I'm sure she'd be like, oh, for fucking sake. sake. So, Moira, starting with Aries coming up, I see. That's what that's all about. I may look into that. So I am going to do as I always do. I am going to open, I can just find my little goddess banner. If anybody would like a sacred feminine reading, just put me in all caps. I have my goddesses of the world. I do have my goddess oracle deck, and I'll pull from whichever I'm drawn from. The Colette Baron read is pretty, but I don't know. She really wasn't calling to me today except to share a couple of those cards. Making sure I didn't leave any out. Really? I get to read for Lexi. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm under pressure now. Dun, 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 dun. Under pressure. Alrighty. So, okay. So we got Beth, we got Moira, we got Lexi, and so, okay. Lexi, when I do your reading, seeing that you have a little interest in the Morgan, do you want me to use the Morgan Oracle? And if anybody else I read for wants me to pull from the Morgan Oracle, let me know too. I'm sure she'd be more than happy to oblige, so as I will. So let's see. Oh, please, I ain't no one special. No pressure. Don't screw this up. I know, Tom. Gotta be focused. Alrighty. Me, what's the goddess of gimpy people? You're too much. Okay. So we start with Beth. And which deck am I drawn to pull from you? What are you? From you. What am I pulling from you, Beth? Let's go with the goddesses of the world. Let me get back into the live. Do whatever feels natural. Cause you make me feel like a natural woman. And then we also have Helen Reddy. I am here, I am woman, hear me roar. And numbers too big to ignore. But something interesting talking about feminism is that I didn't know that Gloria Steinem actually worked for the CIA. Did y'all know that? So they were wondering why she was all, there's been some question of her integrity and intent. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to pull from, I got another oracle deck here. I'm going to pull from the Witch Oracle. For those who don't know, that stands for woman in total control of herself. Hijacks is surprisingly the same as sober jacks. Oh, okay. So, tarot deck for you on this one, my dear. I'm looking at your two cards and let's see, which one do I feel compelled to pull from? Here, let's pull from the Olivia. The Olivia Rose. Okay, and see what we get. Heather. I was an editor for, oh, I remember that magazine back in the day. I quit after 3 days because they did fact check. Oh, so I'm not claiming that as truth, Beth. I'm just saying that at one point I saw a video, some sort of documentary or something a few years back where they mentioned Gloria had, worked or was like a liaison with the CIA, or I think it was the CIA, not the FBI. I don't know, tried to maybe improve relations. It's snowing. Oh my goodness, Nancy. Enjoy dinner, my dear. And let's see what we have under here. Okay. Alrighty, so let me grab my goddess book. You got, and I'm going to take my time making sure I pronounce this properly, Mumbaba Moana Warisa. Warisa. And I know she is Zulu. I remember pulling her last week for somebody. So let me find her in here so we can learn a little bit about this goddess. She's all about cultivating patience. Moira, cultivating patience. Not Moira, Beth. There you go. So the Zulu goddess of rain and fertility reminds you to cultivate patience and nurture your dreams. Understand the cycle of growth, knowing that each seed you plant carries the potential for abundance. And I'm going to stop right here for a quick second. This week is new moon, so good time for planting seeds, whether physical, metaphorical, great time for that. So trust in the timing of life. And as you attend to your dreams, watch them bloom like flowers in a bountiful garden. All righty. And you got the maiden journey. So there is some sort of journey that you are starting. And for me, with the maiden, this is almost kind of has that feel of like a Six of Swords when you're crossing over to start something new, leaving back the past. Well, here she's on a magic carpet. And she is flying over water. So this is a maiden journey, a voyage. I'm feeling it's very spiritual, starting a brand new path. One that this is going to be a certain path where, because it says maiden journey, well, it's voyage, well, it's a journey as well. And they use the word maiden not to mean that it's a young individual, but maybe this could be like a twofold. Maid, spring, new beginning, yes, along with the journey. So this is a fresh start, a youthful start on a new journey of something that you may have not done before. So this is maybe taking a course, and I say course as in a course of direction, or it could be a course to an education. But whatever it is, this is a journey. This is something new, fresh, exciting. It's got your little inner child all excited, basically. So glossy. Yeah, that one's a wee bit glossy. So your significator, Beth, is the moon card. And I absolutely love the moon cards. I think they get a little of a bad rap. Like I always say that when I pull them, but for me, the moon is that beautiful light. It's the divine feminine light. It's our intuitive nature that shines light to help us heal areas in ourselves that may be traumatic, but also things in us that are beautiful that we are afraid to shine and show others because we've been raised to certain qualities, especially with women, but men as well. Example, men and boys, they don't cry. Bullshit. So that kind of toxic spirituality, but in that is that toxic mindset. And so things that are kind of shown to us as, women being strong, women, the old time, with the kiss of, women are to be seen and not heard. Well, aspects of ourselves that we were impressed upon us that were unsavory or unappetizing, that kind of thing, which kind of we may have even added to that and believing that. So with the moon card, that's shining that light in there. It's lighting everything up, embracing all of that, especially on this new journey. To me, it's like let the moonlight guide you on this beautiful journey. Your underlying energy of this is the Seven of Wands. So this may require, for you to set boundaries, to stand up for what you believe in. I think I've gotten Seven of Wands a couple times in readings for you. But this is a proper card for you. I mean, you stand up, you speak your truth, you set your boundaries, whether explicit or implicit. And, sometimes you have to defend. And again, with the moon card, that could be exploring aspects of yourself that, people may not deem appropriate, or even like we were talking about earlier, how, especially with sexual abuse, trauma, that kind of thing in our lifetime, it's all to be swept up, hidden in the shadows and not seen. And then when people shine light on that, they're attacked. So you will understand what this represents for you. And your top card, great card, you got the Wheel of Fortune. So to me, this is in a really good place in the reading. Becoming a spring, new maiden journey, cultivate that fertility, tap into Baba. I love how it's fertility and rain. Rain is cleansing, it's feminine, it's our emotions, connects with the moon. We got the beautiful fresh rains of spring coming in, except for Nancy. It's knowing where she is, poor dear. But that Wheel of Fortune, things are trying to turn. The season is turning. We're moving into spring and just going with the flow, Beth. So that's what I got for you, my dear. As always, thank you for letting me read for you. Get these all back into the right. Yeah, I brought my Witch Woman in Total Control of Herself deck, and I also brought Wild Woman Rising deck as well, which is another glossy deck. So if it gets a little shiny and a little, sorry about that. All righty. Nana Lenormand, Moon is a nice card. Yep. Let's see. This woman kicks ass and has heard plenty. There you go. So, all righty. Gatekeepers can get stuffed. Smooth decks are hot. Oh my God. She's making a comeback, and I'm just like, oh no. Yep. I love that song. I like the what was his name? He's passed now. I can't think of his name. The one with the wild hair. And here, yeah, I love a good glossy deck cardstock. Gets a lot of hate, but shuffles. So depends on what they're using. Let's see. So working for the CIA comes up, and Nancy suspiciously has to leave. I wonder if she caught that. And Beth said Gloria Simon was a Playboy bunny before MS Magazine. She wasn't a nice person. I worked for her. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes we never know. Phil Spector. No, the dude, Coolio. He did a remake of that song, which was a lot of fun. Before, you really had to almost bleep everything out of the good old hip hop and rap music back in my day. Like I said, I'm 55, so I was out when Rob Bass and MC Hammer and Young MC and all that stuff. I was thinking Andre, hey yeah. So nope, not him. So who is up next? Believe me, I haven't had that much caffeine at all today. Now it's Moira's turn. Okay. It's like sometimes I call Gerald Jonathan Gerald. But as my dad would say, as long as you don't call me late for dinner. Gangster's Paradise, yep. Oh, and he got into a lot of hot water with Weird Al. But anyway, I digress. Totally different show. Lexi, I love doing music shows, and I know you have, you know, a badass vinyl collection. If you ever want to do a show where we're just chatting about music, oh, I would love that. I am a music freak. Not a super freak, but a music freak. Although I could get super freaky sometimes back in the day, but you know, those days are long over. Oh, so it was a Stevie Wonder song. I couldn't remember what the original, but yeah. Ooh. Alrighty. Which one, Beth? Not Beth. Moira. See? And every time I hear Moira, I think of Schitt's Creek. Oh, she's going to be so missed, that actress. Okay, let's go with the Wild Woman Rising. Because Moira is a wild woman rising. She's a bad moon on the rise. Oh, this is so funny. Gangster's Paradise. Moira, look at one of the words in your card. Paradise. Can't make this shit up, I'm telling y'all. All righty, let's see. Oh no, do I want to use this? Yep, I think this deck wants to be used today. Ooh, nose itchy. It's weird, when I read, my nose starts to itch. And I don't know if that's a sign from spirit or... Okay. The colors in those two cards are very similar, Moira. That's beautiful. Ooh, are you coming out? No? Okay. Okay, so Goddess book, you got May Fosop. And I believe she's Vietnamese. There are so many goddesses in here. All right, no, she's Thai. Okay. So May Fosop. Let's see what you got, Myra. Is that beautiful? I just love the colors in this deck. So May Fosop is about sharing your resources. She is the Thai rice goddess, imparts the wisdom of nurturing and providing sustenance. I can see that in your cards. Cultivate a spirit of generosity and compassion, just as May Fosop blesses the land with abundance. Let her energy guide you to share your resources and care for those in need, knowing that by giving, you receive even more in return. Up Schitt's Creek without Schitt's paddle. Yeah. Oh, I can't believe we lost her. I know her name, and it's sometimes on demand if I want to remember a name of a song or a lyric or somebody. It completely leaves me, obviously, with Coolio. But yeah, she's going to be so missed. So your Wild Woman Rising card, and look at the colors, Moira. They're basically the same, and it's beautiful because we are coming into spring. So your card is create your own paradise. So, you know, what we cultivate, maybe by giving, receiving, helps us grow our own garden, our own paradise. And you know, it's just almost like the flowers, the colors, they're just so beautiful. But Moira, what I love is the spiral, you know, on her forehead. So for me, sometimes for us to be able to create our paradise, we have to visualize it. And I love how they put it on the third eye, where we can go within, create and visualize a space that's safe for us, which I had to do for EMDR. So going in, creating that place where we feel safe. If you know, if we have it on the physical, that's great. Sometimes we have to create one in our imagination to help us through moments where if we can't be, you know, in our safety spot, in our sanctuary. So creating your own paradise, and with spring coming up, that's another beautiful. Maybe I was going to say maybe grow some rice, but I think you need a certain type of water, soil with water. But anyway, I was just thinking with her being with the rice goddess and learning how to share and to give with other people our abundance, by you giving, and you know, not just to others but to yourself, allow your garden to grow. So cultivate and grow your garden, my dear. Now, your middle card, your significator, is the Ten of Cups. So it's a beautiful card of joy and happiness and having that beautiful sense of completion. You're sharing that bliss, that happiness, just overflowing emotions of love and gratitude for everything that you have, for the ones in your life that you love. Um, your emotional happiness. So for me, cultivating, that garden, being able to provide what you need for yourself to grow and cultivate it, will help, bring that beautiful Ten of Cups. And again, watering, making sure you get enough water, and not just water. I was thinking like hydrating as well, but being able to water your garden, nourish yourself. Um, but yeah, I keep seeing, also, with the water, um, doing kind of like a special ritual with, water dripping over, cleansing, like not want to say baptism, but, just a sprinkling, a cleansing, a blessing. Your top, we're going to start with your top card, because it makes sense with creating your own paradise, growing your own garden. It's the Seven of Pentacles. So you're on your way to it. It feels like you're working on this, that joy of that Ten of Cups, that positive energy, that overflowing energy that you're putting into something, even before it's fully manifested, helps bring that even to a closer harvest of being able to create on a tangible level. And it's almost there. This is card about having patience and making sure everything is watered again, is cultivated again properly, so that everything has time to harvest to perfection, because you don't want to harvest too soon, because then it won't be as bountiful, or as significant, or as what's the other word? Not inspiring. Well, it could be when it comes to inspiration, but it'll feel half-assed. I mean, it would lack the pure energy that it would have. So just keep nourishing that dream with those positive emotions and visualizations. And your underlying energy is the Four of Wands. So I mean, these are beautiful cards, Moira. Sometimes the patience sucks, but I'm sure you're a patient individual. None of us like having to have patience, but it just looks, with it being on the top, you're aware of the need for patience and growing and cultivating, and having, faith that it's going to be ready for harvest exactly when it's supposed to. And then that underlying energy, it's that celebrating yourself, your garden, everything that you have grown, kind of like the Nine of Pentacles. That's your garden. You worked hard for that. You stayed focused, and now everything in that garden belongs to you, from everything that you've had to work for. And with that, you get to celebrate, and others get to celebrate with you on that. So yes, love these cards, Moira. I hope they resonated for you. Okay, let me put that back in the right. Take another sip. I started a YouTube channel for my garden. Let us know, Moira, when it's up and ready, and we'll get people to start subscribing. I can't wait to see it. So that would definitely be the Seven of Pentacles. You're not jumping into it right away without fully developing it. So that's a beautiful project to start growing and getting going. Yep, see? Heck yeah, Moira. And thanks. You're welcome. Yes. Do you already have it created so that we can at least subscribe and get you going on that? Bloom and the Beanstalk. Ooh, see? I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write that down if I can find a piece of paper. How does Heather be an artist and not have a piece of paper nearby? It's called, Bloom and the Beanstalk. Here, everybody, if you want to write that down, Bloom and The beanstalk. I love that. It is a great name. Very creative. Alrighty. So make sure I didn't miss any comments. I watched the past life interview with John Candy, and he said that he is actually divine feminine. Oh, well, that's interesting. That's different. I do like. Wait a minute, Beetlejuice. Catherine. I knew her name was Kathy. Catherine O'Hara. Beetlejuice. Yep. I mean, when they grabbed her and then they shoved her face into the shrimp, that was funny. Or at the end where she shows his face and she goes, "He likes it," and she walks off. And Allison's still here. Hey, girl. Hey, Myra. I just subscribed and see you have a couple videos up already. Very cool. Yes, Allison loves gardens and flowers and all that good stuff. So, yes, we'll make that. We'll get that out there for you. Get people subscribed. Oh, there we go. Bada boom, bada bing. So let me cross this out. So, oh, Lexi. Okay, it's all good. Let's see, which goddess deck? I'm going to go with this one. The girly tarot. Well, the girly oracle. Unless you did, oh, wait a minute. Did you say you wanted a card pulled from the Morgan Oracle, or do you want the goddess, regular goddess deck? I couldn't remember. So, girly or Morgan? Well, I can always pull. Do whatever I want. Do you have a message for her? Yes? Okay. So, I do not refuse the great queen, as she is known. And I have to tell everybody this story. I'm going to pause shuffling for a second. When I came out of my appointment today, Shan's like, look at the top of the building across, because there was our parking lot here, and then it was space up, a wall up, and then there was another building. And it looked like there was a bird perched on it. I'm like going, oh my God, that's a bird. So I could see claws and everything. Shan's like, here, take the phone, go take a picture of it, find out what it is. And so I had to climb up over along the side of the wall and got closer. I'm like, oh my God, it's an owl. And I'm like trying to call to it to turn its head. Turns out it was a fake owl. And I think they might have put that up there for maybe to scare away any predator birds or something. We were thinking maybe there might be a nest or something, but we thought it was a real owl. So that was very interesting, but it was a message for me after coming out from my appointment to see that. It made total sense. But yeah, we thought it was a real owl. Pigeon prevention, maybe that too. Yeah. But it looked real and we couldn't, Shannon was like, couldn't. He was like, that's why I couldn't figure out why if it wasn't turning its head. Okay, Lexi. Ooh, incitement. Let's see. And do I want to grab from, yeah, let's grab from this one. Oops. I had to play back your reading. I call in the middle. Okay, you're welcome. And it resonates. That's what I want to hear. Ooh. Very cool. Do I want to use the same deck? No. Okay. All right, we're going for my mannerist. Now, why is it turned around like this? Oh, okay, there we go. Let's see. I'm a pigeon gal. Yeah. I sit out there and I go, purr, purr, when they make their pretty sounds. I actually saw a pigeon on the menu once, and I'm like, no, I can't do that. Ooh, girl, what you got going on? Girl, let's talk. Wow. I always love sometimes standing there, look at the cards, and I go, girl, let's talk. I've been that to a lot of people. So let's start with number 38. You got the incitement card. And I have not pulled this card yet. Action, choose a side, and it's a war cry. So I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to show you your significator, Tower. So, incitement. And check out her face. Yeah, she means business. So, this is incitement. It's a war cry. It feels like you are, yeah, you're taking action against something, choosing a side, and you are laying out your own war cry, your own battle cry. Um, I'm going to try not to assume, because they always say when you assume, it makes an ass out of you and me. But anyway, um, with everything going on um, in the world, and for people who don't, Lexi does these really great commentary videos. I love them. And sometimes she pushes people's buttons, but not in the intentional way. It's like this is just her being honest and giving her perspective. And at times, some people have feelings. I mean, we all have our feelings, but sometimes, you know, um, they can go watch something else. Sometimes we give insight in how we see things that may ruffle feathers, maybe even some crow or raven feathers. Um, but I think taking the stance of doing your channel, making it commentary, and you sticking to your guns, um, is basically like taking power, being empowered, and saying, this is who I am, and this is what I see, and this is who I want to express. And always adding, it's okay if you don't agree with me. But I like people who, aren't cookie cutter. There is a lot of, I'm sorry to say this, but there's a lot of cookie cutter, bandwagon kind of energy in shows where now I like watching Lexi's channel and I like watching Mary Grace Fairroom. Even though I don't necessarily agree with both these women on everything, it's still fresh. Kelly Maddox, also another one. She's in the UK. And it's like, it's a different perspective. It's not an echo chamber. It's not, people just riffling off the same thing. It's a different approach to where, oh, I like this card because da da da. And I was like, oh, yeah, yeah, me too. Whereas, over here, well, I don't, or I don't do this because of, so I like that diversity. And of course, too, um, I'm trying to tear things down. So also being very vocal. I think it was you who that you did a video where you came out and announced that before you start your video, you want to acknowledge what's going on in our country, especially with ICE, and that this is unacceptable. This is not our country. And you just basically took a stance and said, I am going to be a voice. I'm not going to just sit here and just do my thing and not say anything. If I remember, that was you. If I remember correctly, Lexi, that was you. And I remember like, damn, you know what? I got inspired. I went ahead and I did something on one of my channels, on one of my shows as well. So it's kind of like lighting the match a little bit under people's arses, but doing it in a way where it's like, there's still respect. Um, I had a show I did once. Try not to make about me, Lexi. I'm sorry, but just to show you how I appreciate this, we were talking. It was a paranormal show. It was a Friday. It was you, and thank you for doing that. I said, you know what? I think a lot of us should do that. I mean, I don't do politics. I don't do readings and stuff like that on my channel, but just to not say anything. It's important, I think, for us to do that, not necessarily for every show, but on at least a regular basis here and there, so that we make sure our voices and our and bring to the forefront that this is not acceptable. So a couple of years back, we did a paranormal show, and I've had an experience, like I shared last Friday, that I was attacked by an entity, which felt very almost demonic to me. And we were talking, and it turned to the subject of about demons and things and stuff. And somebody that I recognized from a circle that I had initially been a part of just came screaming into the chat. I mean, literally, and demons are not real. Stop saying that. And then I was like, what? Bye, Allison. Have a good walk with Scout. Give him a little scritchy on the head for me from his Auntie Heather. And so I was like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. I didn't get angry. I said, so and so. Her name was, I can't remember, Jenny, was part of her channel name. I said, listen, I go, for many of us, yes, they are very real. I go, why don't you share why you think they are real? They are not real. And they didn't even want to share their opinion. They just came in, screamed at us, and ran out. So this is why we need channels, Lexi, like yours and Mary Grace and Kelly Maddox, to be able to start saying, hey, this is what I'm seeing, this is what I'm experiencing. I need to show a different perspective. So that's what I'm getting, that incitement, that rallying of the energies, the forces. And I'm just looking at this really quick, and it's about time for action. If you're trying to decide what direction to take in a situation, it is time to choose. Otherwise, opportunities will pass you by. This action should be clear and intentional. Take action, but be clear in what you wish to accomplish. And the incitement also indicates motivation. So this is a great card. I love this energy. Once you begin down the path, perhaps the hero's light will come upon you as well, and there will be no stopping you until you accomplish what you set out to do. It goes on and on, but it was telling me, okay, end transmission right there. So your card from Witch's Oracle, a woman in total control of herself, you got the Lady of Perpetual Rebirth. And if that isn't, and I mean, this is one of my favorite cards. This is gorgeous. And so she is wearing what looks like a luna moth of some kind, but it's on a veil. I mean, and then her little carrier is like a little crow skull. So a little bit of Morgan energy in this as well. But this Lady of Perpetual Rebirth, it feels like with this incitement, you starting your channel, you're getting your voice out there, your message out there. This is a rebirth for you. This is something new starting over, and especially coming in with the new year and with spring. It feels like it's starting, but it's going to really start to take off for you. Now with your tarot cards, your middle one is the Tower. So I don't feel that this is something that is necessarily, I mean, I don't feel that it's like heavily traumatic or something that's really like shit's being blown apart in a bad way, but it feels like for me a lot of times the towers are something that we destroy ourselves. With the Tower and having to rebuild, and you gain the Rebirth card, is telling me that you are tearing down old ways of thinking, structure, believing, how you communicate. It's all about, okay, enough of this, we're tearing this down, we're burning this shit up, and we're going to rebuild and start new. Your underlying energy, I'm going to start with first, Three of Wands. You're expanding with your channel, with your message, with what you're doing, even maybe personally at home with a career, or maybe changing careers or something on a personal matter, spiritual, physical, what it may be. Things are looking up. It's the Three of Wands. It's about expansion. You've taken everything from the Ace of Wands to the second, strategized, planned, built, and now you're executing. So amazing, amazing card. And your top one, girl, you got the strength to do this. And I love this card because the line is like leaning over her shoulder going, Mama, what you doing? Can I help? What you doing? So I just love that it's an acknowledgement of the strength that is within yourself and the strength that you have to go through tearing down shit, burning stuff down, rebuilding, rebirthing, and, starting fresh. And I know that's your last name. I didn't mean to make that. I think that's how you pronounce your last name, right? But yeah, you're exciting the call. It's a call to action. It's call to arms, and it's like enough is enough. Enough of this shit. I'm in a similar boat, girl. I'm at this point where I'm just like, shit's got to change. I got to do something, and so you just know that you got that strength to be able to carry you forward with that. So now I'm going to look at the chat. Let me set these cards back into their proper places. Thank you, Morgan. Nah, Marigna. I don't know if I ever showed you. I'm going to share with Lexi my statue. So I have a little altar for her, so that's my statue. So thank you for the message. Message received, my dear. Alrighty, quick sip, and what we got here. Alrighty. So yes, it was, let me go back even further. Magic and chaos. Ooh. Okay, there's the pigeon rats. Already sounds like me. That's probably when I pulled the Morgan card. Assume away. Preach, mama. Oh my goodness, I'm like blushing over here. It's just like fangirling. I'm not worthy. But I'm trying to tear things down. Well, you got that tower card, girl. Burn away. Remember the old CSI shows? The one from Miami. I can't think of the actor's name, but with the red hair, and he put his glasses on one day and he walked away. He says, "Burn, baby, burn." All righty. They're smelling. Yeah. Well, yeah. And yes, it was you. And Allison's walking scout. Let's see, no matter how big or small your platform, we all got to stand for something. Yeah, I used to do the political readings and it didn't work. And the ones I was watching didn't work because energy kept changing. There were too many moving pieces, and I saw a lot of people, myself included, getting depressed, getting angry, getting frustrated that what readers were pulling cards and saying, well, oh, this is what's going to happen to him, or this is what's going to happen to her, and everything doesn't, I've always been political. I can't hide it, and I won't, but I understand it's not for everyone. There are a couple times when I want to do, but I have to be very careful because I don't want then people assume I'm always going to do them. Let's see. I get the world is on fire. And sometimes we need to step away from that. Yes, we can't. That's the one thing, Shan's always not always, but he watches the news more than the doom and gloom stuff than I wish he would. And he says, well, one of us has got to know what's going on. I'm like, well, you can just watch so much. I mean, I easily spiral if I watch too much. Really quick, Moira said, I stopped watching tarot channels when they get political. Just my preference. I come to tarot to get away from the shit. Yeah. Now, Susan Lynn, from what I understand, is really good. 2 or 3 years ago, I invited her to my channel, but that's when she was starting to blow up, become really popular, especially being friends with Mary Trump. And when I reached out to her, her publicist was like, well, she's kind of booked right now, but thank you for your interest. Like, okay. Let's see. What's this drop of what? Oh, thank you. But damn, it was okay. Whew. I can relax now. Yes, ma'am. Fresh. I was saying fresh or frache because I was thinking French. But Tom was like, nope. Thank you, Tom. We understand, Jax. Girl, you're high as a kite from painkillers right now. You're hurting. Don't worry about it. I appreciate that. Let's see. Heather needs a tip jar for the tarot. Dude, right now, man. Uh, David Caruso. Thank you. And he puts glasses on and went, burn, baby, burn. All right. So, oh, thank you, Lex. I heard my phone go, so I figured that's what it was. Too many undercover. Yeah. You know what? Like I said, they can go sit and spin. They can go pound sand. I don't know who said pound sand recently, and I loved it. I think it was maybe Kelly Maddox. If y'all don't know who she is, she's a force. She's in England, and yeah, she. That's what I'm saying. I need something different. I need something fresh. We need more people, And Tom, I gotta get a hold of you before I forget. I recorded a video to upload to YouTube from my new laptop. I was so happy with it too. And when I went to go upload it, it was nowhere on my screen. For some reason, the laptop didn't save it. I went through every single, but I have to reach out to see if we can figure out what the hell happened because I want to start doing pre-recorded content now that I have a new laptop. Let's see. Ain't that the truth? Let's see. No, they're living in the center. Ooh. Mega teddy bear. There was this woman on Instagram. She cracked the shit out of me yesterday. She did a video, and I mean, this is him. I try even not to say, we say the name that should not be mentioned, or we called him Voldemort. And she was going on this rant. She played the video of how he is saying how people who have lost their arms and their legs from bombs, I see them walking up and down the street, and I'm like, wait, what? They lost their arms and legs, and you see them walking? I mean, it was just, and she had one of those damn it dolls that looked like him, and she's smacking her phone. And she called him Humpty Dumpty McFuckstick. And I can, in YouTube, you want to whatever. But yeah. So you have the maple. Oh, nice. Yeah. They're all over, kind of like cockroaches. NYPD. It was also the first couple of seasons that he jumped to lead. Yeah. Wasn't he the one? No, it was the other guy, the big guy who showed his butt. I think it was the first nudity ever on a primetime TV show. I can't wait to see. I mean, we don't have cable. We're rewatching Lucifer. Oh my God, I love Tom Ellis's Lucifer, Tom Ellis. But he's got a show now on CBS called CIA, excuse me. And you're allowed to see the first episode for free, so we're going to watch that tonight. Yo, have you seen Vermin Supreme? No. Oh my goodness. So I think that was the last requested read. Oh no, Jax, I got to get to your reading. Dennis Franz. Okay. Yep. The ass cheeks. Pre-recorded content is where it's at. Although I want to do that would be a lot of fun. Showing him his hope. Oh, that's yeah. To me, I can't stand like really over the top in your, I don't know. Anywho, so Jax, I got to get to you. You ready for yours? Are you ready for yours? Okay, let's see. Oh my God, this has been a great show. I've loved this afternoon. I needed this, y'all. We've been dealing with, I'll keep that off because I talk about it too often, but our guests in the park every single day. Oh, the police were here again today. And still, the town won't do anything about our little situation, but yeah. I hesitate to make Tom a mod. He'll allow the trolls. Oh. I have a theory about some trolls, but that might be for maybe a backstage private, discussion. Let's see, Jax, which one? Let's get you a witch oracle. Woman in total control of herself. I encourage it. Yeah, I was trolling Tom yesterday with Gerald. It was a lot of fun. He gives me shit in chat, so I was just returning the favor and having a little bit of fun. But I did stop at one point because I didn't know if I was upsetting Gerald. If you watch this on playback, Gerald, I hope I didn't. I was just having a little bit of fun. But great show. I didn't get to see the whole thing, but I saw the first hour. Okay, so what deck do we use for you? I'm going to go with the Olivia Rose. Okay. See? Okay. Now that is interesting. Who got the Ten of Cups in the middle as a significator? Was that Beth or Moira? Oh, now y'all just saw me shuffle that. Well, collective reading for people. Tom is a friend, but a detractor. Oh, that's weird. I got two cards from another reading in the exact same. It's a conspiracy, I told you. Heather's relearning her alphabet. L-A, there we go. Oh my God, I just heard that song in my Lady Gaga song, Just Dance. That's where her card is. Just dance. See, I'm not making it up. So just put that tune on and dance away. So you got Laka. Isn't she beautiful? And Laka is the Hawaiian goddess of hula and the forest. Invites you to celebrate the joy of dance. Not right now. No neutron dance or anything. You guys just rest, Jax. This is when you're able to. But yeah, enjoy celebrate the joy of dance and creativity. Invite the energy of movement and artistic expression into your life. Just as Laka embodies the essence of hula, let her guidance inspire you to embrace your passions and celebrate the beauty of your unique artistic voice. Hula, dancing, and you're in the hospital unable to move. I mean, talk about cruel, the universe being cruel, but no. Even if it's in our minds or we watch it, just feel it. There's a woman who's showing up on Instagram. You have to pay for it, of course, but it's all about, a female. I don't know if it's for men as well, but she shows teaching women, people how to get into their bodies, not being afraid of the movements they're making, hitting maybe not like hard, but hitting power spots, just it looks incredible. Like it's a powerful movement dance to release energy, to release trauma. It looks amazing. And you just got Laka, the goddess of hula and creativity, and you just got the creatrix of cunning. So you're creating some more. Ooh, so cunning, being like the fox, being clever, being able to see and plan in advance. And this could very well be the whole situation, with Kathy and all of that. But this is just finding ways. To me, this is about also finding creative ways to celebrate and express who you are, to explore what parts of yourself you want to explore, despite right now some limiting physical limitations. But it's showing that you are clever. You're able to. You have an eye that kind of like maps things. Like how on TV where you see those computer programs, they go zzz, and they're the little computer and they focus on faces and they jump to another one and they put them in together like into a matrix or in the screen. It's kind of like that because of your was it out ADHD, I think it is. You like super focus. You're able to catch things. You learn things. You see this, look this up, research it, got it, look up. So you're being able to you're able to. I don't want to say keep wearing the word clever. You're able to camouflage, step back, and be able to use your skills, um, to, being clever, kind of like the Seven of Swords for me. It's about strategy, being able to know when to move in or when not to move in. When to go and do something, staying under radar. I actually, wait a minute, the Terra Volatile last night, I think, had a was it Seven of Swords? Instead of a person sneaking away with the swords, it was a fox at night. They learned, they were clever, they were able to discern when would be the right time in to strategize, to move in, and do what needed to be done. So that's what I have for you on that. Middle card, this does feel like you, no matter what kind of shit you go through, no matter what the universe throws at you. You're like, kidney stone? What kidney stone? I'm going to laugh. I'm going to dance. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to be creative. So there's that beautiful sense of still celebrating your gratitude, your happiness for what you do have. You celebrate and take joy in other people, in helping them, and you work very hard. You're very patient. You work very hard to, grow things. You don't rush them. Again, like the other reading, same thing, not rushing into harvest, knowing that having patience. I don't know how you have the kind of patience you do and still stay positive. And your underlying card, though, is the Eight of Cups. So this is really a time now. Just this feeling of, now some people say you really can't give a good reading if you know someone too much, but for me, this just acknowledges, um, that there are things that are no longer emotionally supporting you, things, decisions, like the Seven of Cups, whatever cup or cups that you took didn't work out, still dissatisfied, but it's time to move on. It's time to cross waters. And I love how that she's in the water. So she's moving through her emotions, moving to a different place because she wants to stay in a place like this. So you're still moving through those emotions, leaving behind what no longer serves you, and you're on a new journey. And a journey that's going to take some creative cunning, a lot of patience, um, but using that, creative expression of yours, what brings you joy, to basically keep you afloat and help you, swim across those waters. So that's what I got for you, girl. Not sticking to it. I just can't believe you're still here modding. My God, girl. Thank you. But I know it's probably a distraction. I know if I was in your place, I'd be like, oh my God, I got to watch something to take my mind off of it. So I'm adaptable. Damn right I will. Seeds take time. Bullshit. Yep. Let's see. Oops. I have been the life of the party. I have to be the silent dance party in the morning with my earbuds and the dogs. Oh. Cookie time. I bet you they're wondering where Mama is. They're going to be so happy to see you when you get home. It's being prepared to party that and figure out how to stay walking. Girl. Oh, I'm an Weaver INFP. So that's how. See, there's so many abbreviations and stuff now. Back in the day, there was only a couple, and now there's so many to learn and to remember. INFPs, it's just, oh, it's mind blowing for me trying to keep up with everything. I don't do TV, and it's boring. Don't you have? Oh, it's too bad you didn't have anything like colored pencils, crayons, or something to make something. I'd rather be with friends. They are mopey. Alrighty, so 3:36 regular time as always. Um, oh my God, what the fuck barbecue, Tom? Oh, LMAF, LMFAO, TBH, or TMI. Oh, y'all are too much. So, alrighty. Well, keep us in the loop, Jax. Let us know how you're doing, my dear. What time is your um, surgery tomorrow? Do you know? Maybe we can kind of all focus and direct our healing energy for you at that particular time. If not, I'll just burn my candle later on. Get me, get me. Oh, I was gonna say, get me. Oh yeah, no, that one's not working. It just says tomorrow state. Okay, well, we'll all put a bubble of white light around you, the team that's doing your surgery and your recovery, and your nurses, the staff, everything, so that you come out smelling like a peach, and you're no longer stoned. Bump it up, bump the kidney stone, stone. All right, bad joke. This is why Heather does not do stand up. Anyway, so getting bumped for emergencies, yeah. I know. That sucks. So everybody, thanks for hanging out. Lexi, it was awesome to have you in chat and to get to read for you. Glad it resonated. And as always, all my regulars, Moira and Beth and Shelby, and yep, got a boogie, me too. And Jax. Oh, and that's right, Tom. Thanks, Tom. And just a quick reminder, Selena, Essence of the Moon, is actually having Michelle Belanger on tomorrow. You know, the medium that was on Paranormal State and worked with Katrina Weidman and I think Jack Osborne, along with a couple of other shows. So she's going to be interviewing with Selena tomorrow. So we'll definitely be there. Stop by if you're interested in the paranormal and you're familiar with Michelle Belanger. And alrighty, well, and Thursday, I will be back for new moon readings with Kristen Louise of Nine Worlds Tarot. So excited about that. Okay, everybody, have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye.